Have you ever woken up one morning, everything was quiet, no pain, no injuries, but when you bent down to tie your shoes, stood up from your usual chair, your legs suddenly felt heavier than usual? You paused for a second. Have I always been this slow? Is this normal? Or is something changing? There were no alarm bells, no sharp pains or obvious signs, just little things that became difficult. Climbing a few flights of stairs that made you gasp, holding a shopping bag that made your arms shake slightly, or feeling tired after doing something you used to do without thinking. That's your body sending you signals, silent signals that we often ignore. Most people think that weakness is an inevitable part of aging. But the truth is that there's a much quieter process going on, a loss of strength that no one tells you about until it's too obvious to ignore. That slowness, that difficulty moving, is not simply because you are getting old. It is a symptom of a specific condition that many older adults face without even knowing what it is, and without knowing what they can do about it. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but every day, every week, every month, something is silently taking away your independence, your strength, and your freedom. And the most dangerous thing? It happens in the familiar. In the breakfast you eat, in the drinks you love, in the normal choices you never question. This is not just your story. Thousands of older adults are going through the same thing. But today, you will understand why it happens. And more importantly, you will know how to stop it, to keep what is most precious to you, your strength, your stability, and your freedom. What you're feeling isn't just a passing feeling of tiredness. It's the result of a biological process called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. It's a silent phenomenon with no obvious symptoms in the early stages. And so it's easy to dismiss as a normal part of aging. But sarcopenia isn't inevitable. It's a condition, and one that can be controlled if understood correctly. After age 30, the body begins to lose muscle mass. This process is very slow in the early stages. But after age 50, the rate accelerates significantly. You can lose 1 to 2% of your muscle mass each year. Muscle loss isn't just about getting weaker. It means reduced mobility, slower recovery, less responsiveness, and a greater risk of falls, injuries, and loss of control in daily activities. The scariest thing about sarcopenia is that it doesn't call for attention until the consequences are already obvious. You can't stand for long, walk far, or even lift something heavy. And the older you get, the harder it is to recover if you don't take action early. But don't think it's irreversible. Your body, no matter what age, can recover if you give it the right things, the right nutrition, the right exercise, and the right knowledge. Sarcopenia is a silent enemy, but if you know its name, you can start to take back control. Imagine a typical morning. You sit down at the table, cut a few slices of white bread, and put it in the toaster. The aroma wafts through the kitchen. A little butter, a little sweet jam, and a cup of hot coffee. It's a habit you've been repeating for decades. Seemingly harmless, even pleasant. But the moment you take that first bite, your body begins to react in a way you may not immediately notice. Foods made from refined flour, such as white bread, regular pasta, cookies, and cakes, all have one thing in common. They've been stripped of almost all of their natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals during processing. What's left is a pure carbohydrate that's absorbed extremely quickly and converted almost immediately into blood sugar. When blood sugar spikes, the body responds by releasing insulin to bring it down. But by repeating that process day after day, week after week, you're creating a silent hormonal storm, a constant cycle of high and low blood sugar and low-grade inflammation. Inflammation is what eats away at your muscle fibers like rust eats steel. It weakens your muscles, slows recovery, and over time, makes you feel like you're wearing out for no apparent reason. And that's not all. High insulin also reduces your ability to use protein, even if you're eating plenty of meat, eggs, and dairy. Nutrients don't get to your muscles because your body is busy fighting the sugar overload. Instead of feeding your muscles, those empty calories are stored as fat, putting extra strain on your joints, making every step, every time you stand up, more painful. The good news is that you don't have to give up bread and pasta completely. Just make smart substitutions. Choose 100% whole wheat bread, wheat germ bread, lentil or quinoa pasta, all of which help stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and most importantly, help rebuild the muscle mass you're losing. Every meal isn't just about filling your stomach. It's an opportunity to rebuild your strength, from the inside out. You pour a glass of fresh orange juice in the morning. The golden color, the sweet taste, the light aroma, it feels like starting a new day full of vitality. Since childhood, you have been taught that fruit juice is good for health, rich in vitamin C, nutritious for the elderly, but behind that sweet shell is a little-known truth, that the glass of juice you still drink every day is silently destroying your muscles. When you eat an orange, you chew it slowly, taking in fiber, vitamins, and your body has time to process that natural sugar slowly. But when you juice oranges, especially 3-4 oranges in a glass, you remove almost all the fiber and force all the fructose into a rapid flow into your bloodstream. The result, blood sugar spikes, insulin is released to lower it, and a few hours later you feel tired, hungry, and crave sweets again. Not only is your body suffering from blood sugar fluctuations, but it's also dealing with chronic inflammation, a leading cause of muscle breakdown over time. Worse yet, fructose, the main sugar in juice, isn't used directly by your muscles. It has to go through your liver, and when your liver can't process it, it turns into fat, leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is becoming increasingly common in older adults. And perhaps the least surprising thing, drinking juice doesn't make you feel full. Fructose doesn't trigger the enough feeling in your brain. You finish a glass of orange juice, but you're soon hungry again. So you eat more, which adds up to more sugar, calories, and metabolic load. So what should you do? Choose whole fruit instead of juicing it. If you want a smoothie, use the skin and fiber and pair it with low-sugar fruits like blueberries and strawberries. Or simply start your day with water with lemon or a soothing herbal tea. These small choices can make a big difference, helping you protect your muscles, keep your energy up, and avoid the sugar trap that fruit juice sets. You open the fridge, grab a few slices of ham or sausage, put them on a sandwich or fry them up with eggs. Quick, convenient, delicious, and it seems like a reasonable source of protein. But the truth is, far from what you think. Those slices of processed meat, despite their high protein reputation, are becoming the silent saboteurs of your muscles every day. Processed meat, including ham, sausage, hot dogs, cold cuts, bacon, contain many chemical preservatives, such as nitrates and nitrites. Although they help extend shelf life and keep their attractive color, when entering the body, these substances transform into compounds that cause oxidative stress, a condition in which cells are attacked by free radicals, gradually destroying muscle tissue and slowing cell regeneration. Not only that, processed meats are also a source of saturated fat and sometimes trans fat, powerful inflammatory factors that hinder blood circulation to organs, including muscles. When blood does not circulate well, your muscles do not receive enough oxygen and nutrients. The result is rapid fatigue, reduced recovery ability, and increased risk of muscle atrophy over time. Then there is an often overlooked factor, salt. Processed meats are very high in sodium. When eaten regularly, you will fall into a state of mild but continuous dehydration. Dehydrated muscles are inefficient muscles, prone to cramping, easy to ache, and slow to recover. You can feel it after a salty meal, thirst, stiffness, and sluggishness. And although the label lists protein content, most of it is low-quality protein, diluted by fillers like starch, cereal, or industrial additives. Compared to a piece of grilled chicken or a boiled egg, the real value is almost nothing. The solution is not complicated. Go back to the most natural things: chicken breast, salmon, eggs, or lentils, cashews, almonds, real sources of protein that are rich in nutrients, chemical-free, non-inflammatory. You don't have to be a chef, just choose real ingredients. Every meal you prepare yourself is a small brick to rebuild your own strength foundation. Solid, independent, not quietly eroded over the years. Spinach, also known as spinach, has long been considered a symbol of strength and health. When mentioning it, people immediately think of iron, muscles, a superfood that is good for everyone. But there is one thing that few people know. If you eat spinach the wrong way, especially eating it raw too often, it can have the opposite effect, making your muscles weaker instead of stronger. The problem lies in a natural compound found in spinach: oxalic acid. This is a substance that can bind to minerals such as calcium and magnesium, two extremely important components in maintaining muscle contraction, endurance, and recovery of the body. When oxalate binds to these minerals in the intestines, they will be eliminated instead of being absorbed. That means even if you eat enough nutrients, your body can still fall into a state of mineral deficiency, causing muscle fatigue, cramps, and even electrolyte imbalance. Not only that, if oxalates accumulate over time, they can also form kidney stones, directly affecting the body's ability to filter and regulate minerals throughout the body. And when the kidneys are overloaded, the recovery and muscle building process will also be delayed. This doesn't mean you have to eliminate spinach from the menu. Just change the way you cook it. Lightly boil, steam, or stir-fry. The heat process reduces oxalates by up to 40%, while also making it easier for the body to absorb calcium, iron, and magnesium. Also, rotate your vegetables. Kale, romaine lettuce, arugula, all are low oxalate, muscle-friendly options. Strength comes from balance, not from a single food, and sometimes eating right is much more important than eating a lot. No one can deny the appeal of a cup of coffee in the morning. The strong aroma, the mild bitter taste on the tip of the tongue, the feeling of alertness spreading after the first few sips. For many people, it is not just a drink, but a ritual, a start to each day. But because of that familiarity, very few people realize that when consumed incorrectly or excessively, coffee can become a silent enemy of muscles, especially in the elderly. First, coffee is a strong diuretic. That means that after each cup of coffee, you not only lose water, but also lose a certain amount of essential minerals, such as calcium and magnesium, two key factors in maintaining endurance, preventing cramps, and supporting muscle contraction. Regular loss of minerals without timely supplementation will cause the body to fall into a state of chronic fatigue, weak muscles, and vulnerability. Second, coffee stimulates the hormone cortisol, also known as the stress hormone. When cortisol levels are consistently high, especially if you drink coffee on an empty stomach or when you're tired, your body starts breaking down muscle tissue to use as quick energy. Over time, this can lead to a loss of muscle mass, a reduced ability to recover from exercise, and a feeling of weakness every day. Not to mention that coffee interferes with deep sleep, where the body repairs and rebuilds muscle the most. Even if you get enough sleep, poor sleep quality will leave you feeling exhausted the next morning. The solution isn't to cut out coffee, but to use it wisely, 1 to 2 cups a day, after eating, no later than 2, and remember to hydrate, replenish minerals from cooked greens, nuts, and mineral water, because a well-hydrated, well-nourished body is the foundation for strong muscles, no matter your age. Strength is more than just toned muscles or the ability to lift heavy objects. In middle and older age, true strength is freedom. The freedom to stand up without support, the freedom to walk steadily, the freedom to live independently. And the great thing is, you can absolutely protect that just by making daily choices. We have reviewed 5 familiar saboteurs: white bread, fruit juice, processed meat, improperly used raw spinach, and too much coffee. They are not enemies, but if not understood, they will silently take away the most precious thing you have, the strength to live. From today, every meal, every cup of water, every small choice is a step towards better health. Because whether you are 50, 60, or 80, your body is always ready to recover if you give it the chance.